Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How's everyone doing this morning? Good. I think you all know me. I'm Keith from the education department, as well as being on the faculty development team. Glad to get started this semester with Primetime in the library. Welcome to the Primetime at the BU Library. Primetime is a year-long celebration of the academic and experiential accomplishments of our faculty, students, and staff. It's a collaboration between the Friends of the BU Library and many offices on campus, whose mission is to encourage lifelong learning beyond the classroom for the entire Bethel community. You'll want to join us on Tuesday, September 18th, which is next week, as Anne-Marie Kustra, I believe that's correct, Kustra, thank you, Associate Professor of History, shares her summer experience at the Council of Independent Colleges and the Gilder Lerman Institute of American History multidisciplinary seminar on slave narratives at Yale University. Today, Tim Bredow, Professor of Nursing and part of the Office of Sponsored Research and Projects team, will work through an example using project management techniques to demonstrate how to develop a budget for a foundation grant application. In his presentation, using project management techniques to prepare a budget for your grant application. Let's welcome Tim.
Hey, thank you. Did everybody get a little handout? Got their handout?
Everybody got a pencil? Okay, so I got a pencil because this is a working lecture, very much so. So let's just see. How to write a grant application. Well, a solution, there's a lot of texts out there on grant writing courses that you go to. They'll teach you how to write a budget, but this is going to be a special way, not the only way, but just a special way to develop your budget. And it uses project management principles to develop that budget. So, first you have to have the idea for the grant, and then you start looking for a foundation to submit your grant to, and then you're going to have to do a whole lot of writing, tell them who you are, a cover letter, and what your grant's about, have a proposal. But you'll come down to what it's really all about, is the money. How much money do you want them to give you in order to carry out your project? And so there's a lot of different things that are involved in figuring out that budget. And we've got overhead, personnel, travel expenses, all these kind of things that I've mentioned up here. And so it starts to kind of get a jumble in your mind unless you do it systematically. And so that's what this is all about. And we're going to work through an example. And actually, by the time we're done, we could probably actually look for a foundation to work this through. And so this is something that's been rolling around in the back of my head, and I thought, well, that'd be a good example, because everybody, there's no department in here that probably could use this grant if we did it. And so the purpose of the project that we're going to work through is just a 3-day workshop designed to help underprepared, underprivileged students get ready to enter Bethel as a freshman. So we're trying to attract these people to come into our programs, and some of them may not be quite ready for Bethel. The intensity of it. I got a freshman student right now. His mom was on the phone this morning to me. A student, everything he did was A work, and then he comes to Bethel and he's struggling. And he's not quite ready. He came from a very small high school, struggling. His mom's going to come in, talk to us about dropping some courses. Kid's so frustrated he might want to pull out of Bethel. Or retention going to go down. So anyway, that's this project, to help people that are underprepared, maybe not ready for Bethel youth. So you kind of got the picture of a person in mind. And then we're going to try to organize every aspect of this project for 3 days. We're going to try to get these students in here for Monday, Wednesday, Friday before welcome week starts. So that's, a little bit early. Maybe they're going to have to leave home and come here, so we have to think about all the things that we're going to have to do for these people for a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or a 3-day organization or project. Okay, so our goals, the student will improve their chances for success at Bethel by attending and participating in 3 days learning activities in these 3 broad areas: computer skills, study skills, and interpersonal skills. And so The topics I had on day one was the computer skills. We're going to orient them to how to get around blank, how to do Moodle, how to work the library, and how to get some IT help if they, of course, they'll have a computer. And so we're going to, those are the three, that's day one topics. We're going to keep those in your mind. And then day two is going to be just study skills, how to take notes, how to read a textbook for content mastery, how to study for an exam, how to set up a cover page for a term paper, that always throws people. Day three topics are more how to just survive, eating well, resting well, staying active, living in the community, keeping spiritually healthy. And so we will have interpersonal skills on that day three too, how to do class events. How do we do class? What are faculty expectations? How to live in the dorm? How to use the L Center? Counseling centers available. How to get spiritual help? How to make choices and keeping a calendar. A lot of times the calendar is a huge problem for the students. So the time and place of the project, like I mentioned before, is going to take place the week prior to welcoming. And I thought Monday, Wednesday, Friday, if you guys, we can talk about this. We could have it go on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then they wouldn't be here other times. But anyway, 3 days. Some will take place on Bethel campus. We're going to use experts from Bethel, or we could decide to hire outside consultants. Remember, those consultants are highly paid. And the first step, everybody's got to have some post-it notes. This is, we're already getting into. So, yep.
I know we have lots of ideas.
I know you'll have lots of ideas, and I'm happy for ideas. So we're actually going to try to write the tasks. You guys are going to be developing this. We're going to actually develop this grant as we speak. Keith, you want to help develop?
Sure.
Okay, well, you're going to have to grab. Okay. Do you want to help develop? No,
I'll
because
take
we
it.
work. Okay, so let's think about the tasks. What are you going to have to do that I'm calling pre-tasks? What are you going to have to do to get day one ready? Let's look back at day one. Actually, to get all the days ready to go. What do we have to do to get this project off the ground? And any task, we want them more narrow than broad. And we can put broad ideas, but then we might have to narrow it down. So as you get a task, you have to come up here and put it down. And we're going to just list all the tasks up here. So who's got a task that you think we need to do? Yeah, what do you-
Reserve the lab.
Reserve a lab. Okay, well, come on. I can.
Okay. And put only one on each thing, huh?
Right, well, you can only have one task on each thing. On each post-it note, one task.
Get the speakers.
Okay, you're going to have to line up speakers. Well,
Or
how many
zero.
speakers are we going to have?
You can have how many topics?
Oh, we got lots of topics. So we're going to have to line up speakers. Oh, Bernie, you got to write on the right side.
Oh, really?
List of students. I mean, you need to know how many students you need.
Oh, okay, let's decide as a group, how many people do you think we could adequately handle or need to have this class full? Do you think we'd hold it if we only got 5? Maybe not.
I wouldn't go bigger than 15.
Okay, so
Yeah, that would be
we have to
nice.
plan for between 5 and about 15, because we're going to have to do a lot of individual work with these folks, and so we're going to have to get some speakers. I'm saying that's a very broad topic, because I can imagine we're going to have lots of different ones. So, list of students, and we're going to have between 5 and 15. So you can see where we're going with this. We're going to keep getting down all the tasks to actually get this thing run, and that's going to be our project management list.
How about housing?
Housing. So they're going to have
If they're
to.
gonna come and stay here.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
We're going to have to provide housing for them.
You have to
And-
make sure that everything's all set up too with Moodle so that they are registered and that they're on Moodle so that they can actually be doing.
Okay, so we're gonna write down, get a Moodle ID, they gotta get their ID.
Yeah.
Okay, this is kind of stuff, we just fire them at me.
Get some student mentors.
Mentors, okay, any ideas? Keep writing. This is all pre-work.
We need food.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I was
food.
writing down.
They're gonna- These folks are gonna eat, they're gonna eat, how many times are gonna let them eat? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right?
Yeah, we haven't figured out how long you're here.
Yeah, so do you, okay, so.
For
you
that
got
reason, I think it'd be better to have it on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because otherwise you're gonna have days in between that you're gonna have to,
Well, do we want assignments for those days?
well, that's true.
We need
So-
to talk to administration, I think, to see if we can use the facility and
So we
get
have to
these
get-
presenters. We need to get permission to even do this.
Right,
don't we?
so,
Actually, we need to get permission from the concept, not, wouldn't necessarily need
Right.
to ask us for about each individual.
Just the
But the
concept.
Concept, and these are the different pieces of it, and
Right.
all of that, and then talking to individuals and departments and offices, yeah.
so let's say we've done all the legwork on getting permissions. Now we gotta implement the project.
You have to create the curriculum.
Oh, write that down.
We have
Got
to
it.
figure out how much it's gonna cost.
That's
No,
what
no,
we're
no,
doing.
we're not there yet.
That's what we're doing.
That's
By
the
doing all of
budget,
this.
that's the whole thing,
We're not
right?
ready there.
We gotta figure out what the tasks are, and then
We can do the budget.
then we're gonna work on that budget. What else
I
we
think
got?
you wanna make sure that ask is really, involved in all of
Okay.
the management with us, because they're so important for,
The old ask office involved, yeah, that'd be great.
I think we
So-
need to develop follow-up procedures to make sure that these students are staying engaged and that they're retained here at Menlo.
Okay,
So figure out ahead of time what would be the follow-up.
figure out,
throughout the-
ooh, that's one I hadn't
throughout
even
the
thought
first
of. Okay, so develop follow-up procedures after we're done with this.
But related to that, Tim, if we want to do some kind of pre-testing or pre-assessment, so we know where they are, so then we know.
Right.
Because that they're going
Did you write that
whoever
down?
pays for this is going to want
Yeah.
to, yeah, so, assessment at start.
Okay,
Now, we got the lab, do we need to check on the library too, so they're not putting new carpet in?
we got,
Well, we won't be doing that for a while.
we've gotta
In
have,
another 20 years.
we've gotta have all kinds of space.
Yeah, all kinds of space reservations.
However, I would, adding to ask, I think just consulting with each of those groups. So Moodle
Right.
Skills, consult with TLT, library,
Yeah,
consult with
right.
IT, consult with IT.
break that down. a
Um,
bit.
So make sure each of the segments that we're talking about, there's some sort of liaison or point person that's either involved or consulted.
Okay.
How about
Very good.
advertising? How did we even get these people?
How do we get those people? Well, that's the problem. How do we get them? Write that down.
Oh,
We gotta
I
figure-
did, but not on a
If you're going to
separate.
provide transportation to get students
Oh.
here.
Get them here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, these are all pre-pass.
Yeah,
Got one?
that advertising.
Got some advertising. We've got to figure out a way to get these, figure out who these 15, up to 15 people might be. What if we had, oh, I can't start
If we
thinking.
had more students than
Yeah, what
15,
if we had
then
more
Can we
than-
do 2 sessions?
Could we do 2 sessions? Let's just start with limiting just now, just, because this is an illustration on how to get a budget going.
So we're not gonna limit it.
No, that's all the problems you might have, but let's get this project going.
Consult with groups.
Okay, so we're gonna consult all these groups.
How about reviewing best practice in this type of initiative? What have other
Okay.
universities done?
Okay, so in order to write a grant, that's part of the grant part. We're gonna have to present a review of the literature, review of best practice to the granting organization. This is gonna be really good. That's, I'll put that up there. Okay?
Maybe communicating with the admissions folks about possibly identifying some students.
Okay, now how to identify, talk to admissions, that's good. I'm gonna put that one right up next to ID. No, that's Moodle ID. We have to figure out who these people are.
Kind of marketing.
The marketing, where was marketing? Advertising and marketing.
Yeah.
Right in there. Any other
In some ways
things?
relates to what Connie said
Yep.
earlier, but that time of year is right between the end of summer service, you know, I can't remember what it's called, the conference service people and the welcome week people and all of those pieces to make sure that we can actually absorb those people at this time of year.
Exactly. So we better check that out, huh? And we have to check with housing, maybe? Somebody write down check with housing.
Check housing, I think we did that.
Yeah, but we have to check with housing to see if they have.
Okay. And did we say for sure that we know that the students will come?
Well, is there any way we could have an incentive for these people to come?
So we would need to determine if we're going to provide grant scholarships.
Sure.
Something.
Grant scholarships. So,
So maybe incentives?
yep.
Incentives?
Somebody write down incentives.
I got it.
Do supplies go with that? Things
Well,
that we could
yeah.
give them?
Yeah, we're gonna have supplies.
Do we need books?
Right.
Do we need
What all?
whatever?
Computers. Are we gonna give them a
Right,
computer?
yeah,
They
I
have
don't
to
know.
have computers here.
Oh, that would be an incentive.
Yeah.
Maybe not a little bit.
Okay.
I think they need a Bethel t-shirt.
Put Bethel t-shirt, I'm part of this deal. I don't know, maybe they don't want me involved. Maybe they do. Okay, so
Besides the markup.
anything new that we have to have?
Do we need to have
get going?
an RA when they have housing? We might have to talk to student housing, or student life,
Yeah.
what's permissible.
Well, these
You
are,
just throw people in a dorm.
here's the thing that I had was, these are already people that we've somehow admitted to Bethel. We have to talk them into getting them to come 1 week early. And so, are they already going to be housed in a place? Will that room be open, or do we have to move them twice? Those are things to think about, but it might,
Yeah.
how to get them to stay at Bethel. I don't know, we should have somebody here from health to answer that kind of question.
I think they do lonely if they're there, like one in one dorm, one in another.
And are the dorm, would that dorm even be available to live in?
That's kind of the facilities coordination.
Facility
It's
coordination.
all created.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
all
so,
connected with
did we write
housing.
that down yet?
Yeah, I had it written down, did I give it to you? Facilities?
Facilities coordination.
So we would probably need some kind of,
Yeah.
we would need some kind of other activities, because if these people are, you know, having more difficulty coming into Bethel, they don't know each other, they don't know Bethel, they don't know maybe even Minnesota.
Right.
So there'd have to be some kinds of.
Community building.
Community building
yeah.
activities
That's
somehow.
Welcome
Okay.
right before the welcome.
And they might have to stay here over the weekend if they came from San Diego or somewhere.
So, yeah. So we gotta work on that house. Now, you guys have got a lot of good ideas here.
Community building.
Let's,
I've got it.
You got it?
Bernie's, community building.
Yeah, something.
Okay, so that's something I never thought about. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of just day one. What's it gonna take to put, let's say we've got 15 people, and they are now enrolled in this seminar. We've got all this stuff taken care of. We come to day one. What do we need to pull off day one? We gotta make sure that day one's ready to go.
You mean,
But everything's
you mean
been-
actually what we're doing, or you mean
Yeah.
how to do that actual day one?
How's that gonna go? How's day one gonna go? What do we need for day
A
one?
schedule.
Yeah.
Okay, gotta have a schedule. Write that down. Gotta have a schedule for day one.
Yeah, people to welcome them to the classroom or wherever they're going to be.
Okay? So day one, we'll have to put together a schedule. That could almost be a pre-task, but, okay, so, but now we have to actually have somebody to welcome.
Staff.
Okay, well, schedule, welcome staff, anything else?
Maybe we already said this, but I mean, the room has to be ready, the computers have to be on, and then related, the students have to have they have to be able to log into the computers,
Right?
so.
Okay, so that was a lot of
they walk in.
pre-work, right?
Yeah, so they have to walk in with their ID, but certainly the room itself has to be prepared, the computers have to be hooked up, turned on, logged in.
Okay, so that's all pre-work, I think we got that.
Okay.
Who's gonna run this show?
You,
We better have somebody write down, we gotta have an instructor.
writing
We
instructions.
need an instructor.
Well, it's kind of a combination of instructor and kind of a program director, because
Yeah.
those can be
Oh.
really different things.
Okay, we have to, better have a program director.
So, instructor.
Because you
Okay,
have
we
to
need
have
a
more than
instructor.
just one person there, there's
Yeah, I
gonna be a
mean,
lot of people.
one, because we
All
need all
of them
different kinds
are
of
instructors.
expertise.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, how many of them? How many people do we need for day one? We gotta think about that.
To actually be physically present.
Well, for how long? Yeah. let's put down who we need for day one. Oops, excuse me. Just to get the, let's say we want to just do Blink, Moodle, library, and IT. Do we need 4 people or 1 person or 3? How many
Those are
people
so
to do day
related.
1?
Those are so related, it almost
Probably
seems like
one.
1, possibly 2 if you want to look at instructor skills with Moodle.
Library's different. Library to me stands out differently from the Moodle skills, IT help.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we got to decide as a
Now we're
group.
up to 3 maybe.
Because I would see that if there's 15 people and they're all helping different people at once, you know, because some of them are going to need one-on-one help. Or
Right, so
you're
that's where we
trying-
need the student mentors.
Yeah, maybe that's.
So we're going to have
yeah.
student mentors,
Mentors,
all,
that'd be good.
are they going to be there all day?
Yep,
Okay, let's write down student mentors, and we're going to have them all day.
You got it?
yep.
And are they going to go 1 by 1 or rotate through stations on these? Because we could have faculty or instructors at each area. Bring, you know, talking to 5 people and be,
Right.
or just smaller
Instructors.
ratio.
Yeah, maybe that would be good.
We better have, I want you guys to tell me how many instructors we got to have on board.
Do you want 3 student mentors and then instructors? How many?
Because you gotta be a little careful, don't you, as far as how many people you're, because it's gonna be more expensive.
Well, we got to
You
find
gotta
that out.
go
That's what
find
we're
out.
doing.
Expensive it is.
So, I think being able to be efficient with the number of people that we have there, but still having enough.
Okay, well, got to decide that. That's, now we're
I'll
in the
throw
group
it
thing.
out. I say three student mentors. Is that enough?
3 student mentors
For
and then
15?
How many
How many
instructors?
Yes,
faculty?
we're gonna have, and how many instructors do you want?
Minimum
2
of 3.
instructors and
I
3
think,
mentors?
I think 3 mentors, 3 instructors.
Yeah.
We'll go
And
3
a program
mentors,
director.
and we'll do, we got to have some instructors. Nope, I'm not putting them up there. Who wrote down instructors?
Oh, there's instructor up there if you want to put a 3 on it. There, next.
Instructors, but
Yeah.
we need, okay, we want to expand this one. Who are these people? Can you think of who they are? Are they a consultant, or are they intern?
Internal.
To be internal.
For
Day one, I can
Internal.
see, teaching and learning technology. For example, Bob Kistler right now does, when student athletes arrive, they come in small groups and he walks them through Moodle and.
Okay, write
I'm
down.
not signing him up for anything.
Don't put a name, but
Teaching
put
them.
down that detail of who that person would be like.
I do think they all need to be in-house because this is very Bethel specific.
Right.
Yeah,
This
okay.
isn't about study skills that somebody else could do from the outside.
So here's our first person. We're going to have a teaching and learning technology person. So that's going to go like that. Okay. So that's 1 person.
We need a library.
Okay, I'm not writing them down.
Somehow we need that community builder, whether that's the students, maybe that's the students we're thinking of. But I think it's so important that right off the bat, these new students, that social, that community, that they feel a part of. And
Could that be a student life person?
So I don't know.
It could be student life, it could be campus
There
administrative.
has to be somebody
it could
like
be
that there from
lots
the
of different
beginning.
Maybe
Yeah.
because we had a Bible study one day, so.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, so write that down, Bernie.
okay.
We got a
Student life.
student life person.
And I mean, it could be, a student that comes out of that or whatever, but it has to be something that's related to student life.
Okay, now, how long are each one of these people going to be giving their talk? How do you want to organize this day?
I just think we need to do something kind of soft and fuzzy to start with, and we just right into, let's do computer
Yeah,
skills.
no, they need to have some icebreakers.
So there needs to be like
So
an
that'd be the
hour.
student life.
Right,
Student life should start off,
Yeah.
how long you want
Yeah.
student life to go for?
probably at least an hour.
Yeah.
Just an hour, okay, so
Yeah.
we're going to get them in for 1 hour. Okay, now you got 7 left. Did we feed them for breakfast?
Sure.
Yeah,
They
they're
have
living
to have
here.
breakfast.
Well, we don't know.
Who took them to
Did
that
we
place?
ask them to come the night before, or did we ask them to show up that morning?
Right. Show up, well, they had to show up the night before, let's see. Let's see, we already did that. But now we got to get them to breakfast. So,
Have those student mentors.
write down breakfast.
Breakfast?
Don't forget to have breakfast.
The student.
Is that going to be in the room, or are they going to go to the
Student
cafeteria?
mentors can meet them and take them to breakfast.
Okay. Oh, so the student mentors, what's their time? They gotta start early, huh?
Yeah.
Student mentors are gonna
Yeah,
start
we
at
pretty much
7.
need to own them for
Yeah.
3.5 days, the night before,
Yep.
and then those 3
Yep.
days. So we need to pay them in some kind of a way
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
they're
Okay,
working
so-
for us that time.
So their student mentors are they're the same time as the students.
Mhm.
So 7 till, how long can keep the student mentoring?
Depends on if they're also the RA.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, and would they be involved with any activity they might have in the evening as far as a social event? That,
so we got them 24?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, we're gonna
24.
hire
No
these
sleeping.
guys
No sleeping.
times 24 hours. They're on for 3 days. Actually, you guys said 3.5, right?
Right, if you're gonna bring them in the night before.
Yeah, they meet them in the night before.
So we better get these for
Probably
3.5 days.
At least one of each gender.
Yeah.
'Cause, you know,
Yeah.
in different
Oh, well-
dorms or.
Right.
Okay, so now we're putting a specification. We need at least one male or one female, and then the opposite.
Needs to be a mix,
two
yeah.
different. Okay, that's good. Anything else we're gonna do on day 1?
Did we say lunch?
No, we have
No,
only
we
got
only have
breakfast,
breakfast. Here, I'll do lunch.
lunch and dinner.
And dinner.
And then we have any snacks?
Sure.
Okay,
Dinner,
breakfast, lunch, dinner,
Snacks. We should
Snacks.
just say food.
food. Okay, but just,
But
you
it's
gotta
really
get
helpful
specific
to know
on
how
this.
specific it is, because there's a big difference in price.
Yep.
Well,
Okay.
well, after we've done like that, our devotional and activity, whatever student life is doing, then we need to start kind of talking about who, I mean, they've gotten information, but who is Bethel and how does all this fit into Bethel?
Okay,
So some kind of an orientation. kind of
Orientation,
to
all right.
Bethel Before we kind of start in all these things.
so we want, okay, so that, can they,
I think the program director can do that.
program director can do
Yeah.
that. Who's the program director? What's his or her, what's their title?
Project manager.
No, program director.
Okay,
Oh.
but what qualifications does this person need? I'm trying to think of what, can we hire a student for program
No.
director? Does that be a faculty,
There's
staff?
somebody
or
who's
what?
interested in student success.
Okay,
I think it needs to be I think it needs to be faculty.
okay, agree with that?
I mean, it could be somebody even too from AST that would be involved.
But they're all faculty.
Yeah.
So
And-
faculty,
yeah.
maybe I don't know, but I know it's not.
You got like a Ruth Nelson who
Yeah.
would be,
Right.
I know, perfect or
Okay.
something like this.
Yeah, it has to be somebody who understands the issues too.
Exactly. And then, so we've got that person kind of lined up. And now we've got breakfast, lunch, and dinner are done. We've got the student life person's gonna start off the day with 1 hour. What's the rest of 7 hours gonna look like?
Actually working into some of these, starting, but I don't know what point we start, actually getting into Blink, you know, getting
Blink.
into Moodle.
Can the
library,
Blink and
having a
Moodle-
tour of the library.
Yep. Now I need to know, when we tie these people up, we're kind of getting into the money side of it. Because now we need people, and we gotta figure out who they are and how much they're gonna cost us. And so that's the idea, is you get all these tasks down, then you figure out how much time they're gonna take, and you multiply out what their worth is by the time, and then you have to put a budget. But by writing all this down, you can see, oh, I gotta think about this. That. If you don't go through this process, you might just say, oh, I need 3 people to run this. And you don't know who they are, and you don't know how much they're worth and how much time they need. So let's see, let's just go back to, because I'm running out of time. And this was a good exercise so far. Is there anything on our pre-test that's going to cost us money, except for time to get the grant to be asked for? You don't get to charge the foundation for planning out what you're going to do. You only get to charge the foundation for doing what you tell them you're going to do. So we said we're reserving the lab. There's no time. Somebody's got to do this. This is the person that's probably writing the grant. Get speakers. Housing. Now housing could cost us some money. Okay, so how much, we have to find out how much does the housing cost us. And that would be a question, I don't even know who we don't ask that, but
Housing.
housing, just ask housing. We want 3 extra days for some people to stay in Bethel, and we're gonna find that out. And then we have to figure out how many people can you put in a room? 2?
Depends on which residence, depends
Yeah.
on what the gender mix is.
Okay. So we gotta figure out rooms and how much they cost, and we're gonna figure out how we're gonna get these people. We really gotta have our mix already figured out. So all this is gonna cost different amounts. So we need at least, let's say we have a mix of gender, we get 15 people, 7 and 8, so we need, how many rooms? Is there a place in a house, 7 people? No. We at least have to have 4.
Does Heritage like have 4?
4?
Yeah, it's a couple of different.
So we could get 2 rooms.
2 rooms. So we need 2 rooms, and they're gonna cost X amount of dollars. So there's our room charge. Student mentors. Students, how much do students cost? That's that extra page I had for you. If you turn to that, we can figure out student salary. Student workers have, on the second page, $7.25 an hour. So we need students, student workers. Where'd they go? Student workers, $7.25 an hour, right here. $7.25 an hour times, how many do we have? We have 3 of them? 3 of them, and we're gonna hire them for 3 days. Is there a rate per day? You know, a day rate or a day per hour?
No, we better have a day rate.
I would do a day rate that looks like what RAs get paid.
Okay, so at RA salary. Okay, that's good. The ask office, how many people from the ask office do you think we're gonna get involved? 1 or 2?
I'd say potentially 2, like if you want to work with multilingual learners.
Okay. Now, they're faculty, but different faculty get paid differently depending on their rank. And so then again, if you go over to our, we didn't do that. We know now on our new salary schedule the mean income for associate, assistant, and full. So are we going to hire anybody in the ask office full professor? It depends on who we're going to get.
Because we're going to have a program director from there.
Yeah, program director and 1 other person. So we're going to have to look at who those people are, go talk to them, find out what their rank is, and guesstimate. We'll put down their mean salary for this. And if we actually get the grant, then we'll find out what we actually owe. So then we can put down a salary for those ask people, and that's based on Bethel's BU's salary schedule.
I want to throw one in though. That depends if we're talking about course release or if we're talking about summer stipends. Because summer stipends aren't normally connected to what someone's academic year salary is.
So since this is a week before they have to be here, it'll be a summer.
It would be summer
Stipend.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a summer stipend for these 2 ask people. How about this one? Follow-up procedures. That's more the grant writer person. You don't charge for that, maybe. List of students. We don't probably have to pay for that. Moodle ID. Does that cost anything to get a Moodle ID? Yep. We're running out of time. I don't know if it costs to get a Moodle ID.
No, it doesn't, but all of that costs somebody's time.
Yep. So we're going to maybe have to have the administrator have a chunk of money to pay to get this thing, keep it going. Okay, create a curriculum. That's got to be done off of somebody. That's some time there. Check with housing. We're going to get the price of these places to room. Assessment at the start. Who's going to do this assessment? Is that a person?
You may need to have a consultant,
That might be a consultant.
either outside or paying an internal consultant to help us with that.
Okay. To see kind of how this goes, you get every single task that you can think of, line it up, and you do go through every single day, and you got to attach a person. The task isn't going to get done by itself, so a person has to be assigned to do that task. Then you have to decide the next step is to assign a value to that person, a monetary value. Then you kind of start adding up, you take all your papers, you got all these people, you start to add up the people, the materials, and you multiply that all out. And then you can go to a budget. I have a page, I had a handout page that showed the Minnesota Common Grant application form, which is very similar to anybody else's. And then you get those topics. And so you're going to end up using all your tasks multiplied by the person who's going to do those tasks by their salary you're going to pay them. You should be able to get some people there in line for personnel. Yep, salaries and wages will go down there. But you'll have the background to answer how you got to that number. And sometimes grants will ask you, well, how'd you give us some detail, or there's a chance to write your detail out of how you got to these numbers. But it all gets collapsed into a page like this. And so that's kind of how you do your budget. If you're just staring at that, and you say, okay, I got to figure out how to do this, you know that those, any textbook will teach you that these are the columns that you have to put the numbers in. But I've developed this method of using your Post-it notes to use project management to figure out what are the tasks that have to be done, assigning the person to it, and assigning a financial number to that person. So that's the project management method of developing a budget. Are there any questions? We are not on now.
Obviously, you could take this if it's something that's not a 3-day, but this is a 3-year,
Yep.
and then you just
Multiply
stretch the whole thing out.
Yep, and we never got to do a day 2 and day 3, but it looked very similar to day 1, and you could, if it's similar to the same people, you can multiply it over and over. If it's a day, a 3-year deal, you just work it out, get your numbers. But by figuring out what your tasks are to do, makes you think your whole way through how this is going to run. And having several people, it was interesting. I kind of thought through this grant before, and I didn't have all the things that you guys thought. So it's good to have a team actually working this up. You'll be more thorough, I think. So thank you all for coming. And the library actually would like their Post-it notes. What's left? Whatever's left over.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
Could something like this actually be implemented?
We actually have one almost written, but it's earlier in the summer. It's not right before Welcome Week. Modeled on something that Calvin does. It's called Intrada. It even has a name. It's called Ubuntu. There's one that's designed for in between the junior and senior year, and one between the senior year and starting year.
Can we think of anything that we hadn't thought of in the one that's almost written?
No, actually, those were all things that went through. And I was like, yeah, we got that one. Yeah, we got that one.
Even like navigators, isn't that another program too that is?
That's not as academically oriented, though.
Okay.
But this one that we're talking about, it's called Ubuntu, has the community building part in it, has academic coaching, has. But actually, what we didn't have in there is the whole computer skills stuff. We had study skills, we had lots of other things, but we didn't have that.
Good.
That's a good thing.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
I think so, Mr. Fox. Thank you.
And so this information on this paper, is it actually available?
That's
Actually,
on
on
the
the website.
faculty grant webpage.
See you later.